Welcome to this explainer. We are diving right into one of the most wild and important moments in all of literature. Act 1, Scene 3 of Shakespeare's Macbeth. We're going to discover exactly how three mysterious witches spark a dark ambition inside a brave soldier, completely changing his life forever. Let's get into it. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover our core words, meet the witches, look at two different reactions, learn the temptation rule, and finally hit those key exam links. First up, core words, essential terms for the exam. Our very first word is prophecy. Simply put, a prophecy is a prediction about the future. It's like someone telling you exactly what's going to happen to you before it actually does. Next, we have ambition. Honestly, this might be the single most important word in the entire story of Macbeth. Ambition is that super strong feeling of wanting success, or in this case, wanting power. It's that little voice inside your head pushing you to be number one. And our third word is supernatural. This refers to things that exist totally outside of normal, everyday life. We are talking about magic, ghosts, spells, and of course, witches. The supernatural brings a really creepy, unpredictable energy to the story. All right, let's move to section 2. Meet the witches, the crucial first encounter. Picture this. Macbeth and his best friend, Banquo, are walking home after a massive, bloody battle victory. They're totally exhausted, but waiting for them in the thick fog are three witches. And these witches greet Macbeth with a huge prophecy. They tell him he will be king hereafter. Just imagine that for a second. You are just a soldier walking home, and out of nowhere, someone promises you the literal crown. This shocking moment is the exact spark that sets the whole tragedy into motion. Now for part 3, two different reactions, Macbeth versus Banquo. It is absolutely fascinating how differently these two guys react to the exact same news. Macbeth gets completely emotional. He is shocked, but he is completely hooked. His ambition, that strong hunger for power we just talked about, wakes right up. He's immediately fascinated by the idea of being king. But Banquo, he is the total opposite. He is super cautious and suspicious. He doesn't trust these strange creatures for a second. Banquo actually warns his friend. He literally calls the witches instruments of darkness. He is telling Macbeth, hey, be careful. These dark creatures might just be trying to trick us to cause trouble. Banquo sees all the red flags, but Macbeth is way too blinded by the shiny idea of power to listen. Which brings us to section 4, temptation, not force, the golden rule. If you remember only one thing today, please make it this rule right here. The witches do not force Macbeth. They tempt him. This is huge. The witches never cast a magic spell that forces him to do bad things. They don't mind control him. They just dangle the idea of being king in front of him like a shiny prize. They tempt his ambition, sure, but Macbeth is the one who ultimately makes the choice to act on it. Finally, section 5, key exam links, scoring top marks. So how do we actually use this scene with the witches on the battlefield to ace your exam? This scene is an absolute goldmine for you. You can use the details we just covered whenever a question asks about the role of the witches in the play. You can use it to explain exactly where Macbeth's ambition begins. It perfectly answers questions about the influence of the supernatural. Plus, because of the thick fog and the weird sisters, it's the ultimate example of how Shakespeare creates a really dark, spooky atmosphere. And remember, in your exam, you want to use this exact phrase. The witches do not force Macbeth. They tempt him. Writing that proves to the examiner that you truly understand the story. It shows them you know exactly how his ambition was triggered by the supernatural, but that he was still in control of his own actions. I will leave you with this one last provocative thought to chew on before our next explainer. We know the witches planted the idea, but if they only tempted him, and the magic didn't actually force his hand, who is really to blame for all the violence that comes next? Is it those instruments of darkness, or is it just the dark ambition inside the man himself? Think about that one, and I'll see you in the next explainer.